Yes, people, and welcome back to another live stream. Where honestly, mate, today is a emergency one. You know what I'm saying? This is one that we had to do. It's emergency. The situation's getting crazy. The block's getting too hot. Obviously, in my opinion, in regards to Chelsea Football Club, we're taking some crazy L's in my opinion, and yeah, whoa. Big up CFC for life. Hope you're doing well, bro. Hope you're doing well. Honestly, man, I don't know what to say, man. It's been a crazy day to say the least. Not something I was expecting to do today. Today, I was hopefully expecting just a nice little, excuse me, 2-0 win. Chelsea win the game. The usual stuff. But today, man, I honestly can't believe why I'm here today because obviously you can discuss the performance. We can talk about a lot of stuff that's happened at Chelsea, but this is not it, man. You know what I'm saying? This is not it, though. Like, you go to the Jason. Hope you're doing well, my bro. CFC for life says there are so many things wrong with our club. It's embarrassing. Damn. For me personally, excuse me, we got to Stephanie. Hope you're doing well, Stephanie. Honestly, for me, man, there's a lot of problems right now in the Chelsea squad that I'm surprised by. Like, and a lot of the time, for me personally, I wasn't expecting what happened. Honestly, so it's kind of crazy what's happened right now. Um, for me personally, I was hoping for a bit more of change. Um, but like Chelsea, the way it's happened to me, bear with me for 2 seconds, guys. I'm setting up the stream. Mm-hmm. Excuse me. Wow, my voice is gone right now. It's really issue voice. My bad, boys. Da-da-da. There we go. Lovely jubbly. All right, everything's perfect for me. Big up to CSC Counts, LFC. We relied too heavily on Sterling and hardly shoot in front of goal. Constant hopeful crosses. Big ups to Chelsea Did I Die. What do you think is manager players ownership? Bro, big up, bro. Last year didn't think you'd be back on today. Hey, man, listen, I'm always here, man. I'm always here to talk. And I'll say when I go out, when I look at our team, we don't have any goal scorers. It's actually crazy. We have a young squad who lack experience in winning games after games. Fair enough. Anything takes a lot of blame on this. That's big ups to God of Frogs. That's his school of thought. And listen, man, I can't deny or can't disagree with that. I think for me, when it comes down to Chelsea Football Club, there's there's a lot of what's it called things to discuss when it comes to Chelsea. I think for me, let's get started in what I would like to call the first part of the issue, which is let's look at the team first things first. You know what I'm saying? I want us to look at the team that we started, what we did, and for me personally, it's difficult. You know what I mean? Hey, chill out, God Frogs, man. You're moving mad right now. You're moving mad. We're gonna discuss for sure, right? We're gonna get to each one. You know what I mean? One by one, slow and steady wins the race. You know what I'm saying? But present. Mm, 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 mm. Okay, let me know if you can see this. If not, I'll just increase the size. Bang and then bang. Lovely jubbly. All right. So let's get started with me when it comes to Chelsea Football Club. Right now, I don't need you guys to look at the numbers or anything like that. I couldn't give an absolute Scooby Doo in regards to that. But I think this question is the best question to answer. With big up to Oliver as well. I hope you're doing well, Oliver.
Not really.
Fair enough. Um, who is at fault, or whose fault do you think this is? Manager, player, or ownership? Well, let's start with this, right? So, I think for me, when you look at it, I don't think you can say ownership because the ownership have made it clear what their school of thought is. They're trying to build a under 21 a squad of like young players that they're trying to do. That's their sort of thing, right? Now, can we critique the fact that there is a need of experience and that they probably should have added some level of experience, some level of depth? I 110%. I think that's a fair critique to make to them, right? That is something I think that's fair. Now, in regards to our player manager, we'll get to that one. But I think for me, if you're going to critique the ownership, I do agree with you. Do agree with the school of thought. Maybe that experience should have been brought, not just young players, but some level of experience. Yes, Nkunku was 25, 22 when you brought him, but it's not just that. We needed some level of experience too. But all right, now let's big up. Let me read this one. Sanchez probably man of the match. Fair enough. Big up Ahmed. We lack we got a lack of confidence and mentality because we have hardly any experience in the team to guide these players, and it's going to be tough this season. Playing Kyle at left back doesn't help our left wing at all because he doesn't overlap. So we're expecting Mudryk to do everything and doesn't have help on the left hand side. We miss chances because these young players still learn on the job, but Poch has a lot to do on the training ground. Okay, so let's get into my first thing, and that is you look at the Chelsea squad there, barring probably Raheem Sterling, Thiago Silva. I'm not sure if I should add Conor Gallagher here, but like let's remove Conor. You know what? I will add Conor Gallagher, right? All of these guys, the rest of them, are very young and very inexperienced players. First things first, and that is the first thing that we need to discuss. Now, before the season started, one of the main things that I was saying is that a lot of these guys here, they're not ready yet. You know, you're not going to be able to explain. You're not going to be able to, get top of a lot of these guys. I've said this before. Nicholas Jackson, 22 years old, already had one season at Villarreal, needs a lot of time, needs a lot of help, he needs to develop. For me, I've already said that I probably only expect 5 to 10 goals from him this season. I said that previously. Mikhailo Mudryk, we know we've had that discussion recently in regards to him. In regards to Mikhailo Mudryk, project player. It's going to take a lot of time for him to develop. I've said this previously. Enzo Fernandez, we've known already about him. Yes, he's shown that he's a very good player, talented player, but he's still only 22 years old. Still needs time to develop his game and improve. You then look at Leslie Ugochukwu, someone that's only 20 or 21 or like 19, somewhere around about that. Very young, talented player. Still needs time to improve. Obviously, he just had his first ever start in the Premier League. Leslie Ugochukwu at his age. I think he did it all right. Levi Cole, probably playing in the wrong position in my opinion. Should be probably playing LCB, but still doing a job there. Still only 21 years old. Still needs time and experience. Disasi, the reason why I haven't added him to this is because Disasi's first season in the Premier League. That's why I'm not gonna give him too much of a hard time in my opinion. If it comes down to it in regards to Axel Disasi, Malo Gusto, first season, only 20 years old as well. But the problem, that you're gonna have to have with Chelsea, and this is something that I've come to the school of thought, is that are Chelsea Football Club willing to give time, but at the same time, what's it called, as they say, obviously we're trying to give these players time, but at the same time, is time going to equal top 4? You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know because the way that our players are right now, I don't know if these guys here are ready to in top 4. Because I've been having a long hard thought about this, and I've come to the conclusion that for me, the squad that we have right now is very young. It still needs time to develop. Still a lot of stuff to do. Now, of course, we're gonna get to Pochettino and some of the stuff that he's doing. Don't you worry about that, Chief. We will get to that one. But at the same time, these guys are very young. Can we expect them to get us top 4 straight away this season? I'll put that question to you, Oliver, first thing first. Because obviously, I think you pretty much heard what I've tried to at least come up with the squad that we have just right now.
I think it's relatively realistic. I mean, I know you can't take preseason as, you can't take it as a complete representation of what a real season is, but we saw what these guys were able to play to some extent when they were given a proper setup to play in. And now you look at the way Poch is moving, using these injuries as excuses, even when he said there are no excuses. it's just moving like madness, and you see it. It's affecting the players' confidence because they're getting slagged off in the media for things that aren't in their control. We're not winning games. We're not controlling games. We're not good enough defensively. I think the players can be good enough. I think one of the things that we said going into this season was that we've got a lot of uncertainty here. But uncertainty doesn't mean they can't make it. That means they could make it if the circumstances are right. And right now, they are the furthest thing from being. The circumstances are the furthest thing from being ideal in order to help these players get to even where even if you don't want to be like top four, might be optimistic for you. I mean, me personally, after these first 5 games, I'm not worrying about top four anymore because we barely look like a top half team. So I think it all boils down to the manager. I know we're going to get into it later, but I don't have too much on these players. I can't look at too many individual performances of the players you named there and say, okay, that was the reason we lost. You mentioned Mudryk there. He was he created 2 of our best chances today. I think he's earned a start against Villa. Granted, his touch isn't great still, but let's try and play him into confidence. But the setup needs to be right around him because I tell you what, Enzo is a 10, as you can see on this diagram here. That is not it. We all saw it with our eyes. It didn't work.
100%, bro.
Yeah.
This is the thing for me that, and we'll get to obviously the other guys in Jared and Surfer, yeah. But you look at a lot of these guys that that I've just mentioned. Very young players. They need these experience. They need to be playing week in, week out. Now, obviously, Jackson's getting that. Mudryk is not been getting that quite regularly. Obviously, he's literally had the first 4 games of the season. Chil has been starting there. Ugochukwu, this is his first time playing. You look at Levi Cole starting in a left back position. Although, obviously, I think when you're on the ball, it's a back 3 technically with him and Thiago Silva and Disasi. Malo Gusto, obviously, probably barring the first game of the season, has been basically playing non-stop as the starter there in his position. For me, again, you look at them. I've always said going forward, this team needs time and time to develop and experience. And for me, I do get the school of thought of people who have said we needed some level of experience in the squad. Now, obviously, Thiago Silva's obviously experienced. Look at that, twisted. Raheem Sterling is some level of experience. Now, Axel Disasi, yes, this may be his first season in the Premier League. He's 25 years old. There is some level of experience there in the back line. Who else am I missing from Chelsea right now? I'm not Ben Chilwell. Maybe you could probably add Reece James. Maybe you can add 2. You can add 2. But other than that, really, you're clutching at straws there. So I do think some level of experience was needed. Some more, including Nkunku, in my opinion. But what I'll leave it to you two guys. I'll pose this question, right? Obviously, very inexperienced squad. We can see that they still need a lot of development to happen and to take place. What are your thoughts on some of the stuff that I've said initially? I'll start with you, Jared, because obviously you came in first.
I mean, experience is one thing, but there's just some fundamentals that we just lack in general. And I think it just comes down to the coaching because it's like Tuchel all over again. It's like Lampard all over again, where it's just like we're leaving it up to the players to create attacking patterns or to just conjure something out their ass, whatever, basically. And there's no real coaching in how we attack, essentially. So everything just seems like random or free form. I mean, there's no direction in how we attack. I mean, we don't make the right passes. I mean, all of a sudden, Sterling doesn't want to shoot in certain areas. Gallagher is like near the top of the box or whatever, and he's just not shooting. And his best attribute is his shooting, and he's in the box not taking shots. Jackson just doesn't look like the Jackson we saw in preseason, where loads of confidence, loads of link-up play, and everything just seems like so fundamentally sound. But I mean, we can talk about experience all day, but there's certain things that every footballer just knows on a basic level. And there's some basic things in coaching, like attacking patterns and such, that we just don't see in general. We can always ask for more experience, but even experienced players struggle when there's no instruction in certain situations. And you've seen it time and time again on different teams. I mean, we look at teams that like to sign the older players, or coaches that like to sign the older players, and they still look clueless. You look at Conte's teams, at some point there you know that it's gonna fall apart because the team just doesn't know what to do next. Or you look at teams like Atletico Madrid, who love to sign all these older kind of players, more experienced players, players who've been there, done that. And yeah, they have a very good possession and defensive structure, but when it comes to attacking, scoring goals, it's not going to be every game where, or a lot of the games are, it's a struggle for them to do anything attacking wise, but defensively, nobody can hold a candle to certain teams. And I think we're one of those teams where defensively is not even an issue for us defensively sometimes anymore, but the way how we move the ball between defense and attack and in the midfield in general, it's just a complete struggle for us. So I'm not even sure. I mean, it's I really don't think it's the experience level. Yeah, we could do with a lot more experienced players. Yeah, we can say Nkunku getting injured is this and that, but Nkunku's injury shouldn't influence having Caldwell at left back, or having Enzo in the 10, or having Cole Palmer sitting on the bench, or having Chilwell at left wing, and having Mudryk on the bench, having Madueke on the bench, having these players all on the bench.
Okay.
I don't think an injury just to one position like that
We're
should
gonna
do
get to
that.
that, Jared. Don't you worry about that, Chief. No, listen. The
Yeah.
potch cooking, yeah, it's gonna be real. I have a lot of plans for that one. I'm just giving like what I think would be what people would probably say out there, because I don't agree with that, but we'll move on that one still. But I think that's what it says. You know what? We are exposed. Walls built with paid PR have fallen. I cannot agree that our owners know ball. The coach isn't what we need. I don't think the owners know ball. I don't think that's not the problem. But that's why you bring in people that do know ball, which is the director of football. Now, the director of football have come in. These guys have said that Pochettino is the one. Now, that's what they believe. Whether or not that's going to be reality is a different thing completely, as I always say. Apart from Sterling, who else has a history of scoring loads of goals for a club year after year, or have won trophies after year? Fair enough. Jess says, I kind of disagree, Arbro, just because some of them are young doesn't mean they aren't experienced. Cole, Gallagher, Gusto, Sanchez, Enzo, etc. all been playing men's football for quite some time now. All right, fair enough from Jazz. I hear it for kids like Leslie and David Washington.
But Leslie, I don't even think you can even consider Leslie inexperienced, because starting 26 times in League on last season.
I looked this
at
up
his
a few
age.
days ago. Leslie has more senior minutes than Romeo Lavia.
Yeah, he
Exactly.
does. He started 14
That's
times
what I'm
for-
saying.
Yeah.
He has
But
more
that's-
senior minutes than a lot of players. And then you talk about players like Angelo. Angelo's 18. That's 3 years younger than me, and he has over 100 senior appearances at his young age. Man's barely graduated.
You talk
high
about
school.
inexperience with a player like Mudryk. Like, in football terms, he is literally a baby.
Yeah,
we all know this.
We can understand that. We can understand that, but there are players who are like late bloomers per se. But like Mudryk, we can understand Mudryk. The way how last season went, when Mudryk came, he didn't play a single lick of football for about 4 to 5 months at least in quick succession. And that's purely because of things that he can't control, obviously.
Of course, yeah.
But everybody's trying to make Mudryk like the villain, right? And it's getting kind of old at this point, where obviously you expect better. Why? Because there's a price tag, but the price tag he can't control either. But there's a certain level, like I said before, there's a certain level of basics. I'm sounding like Lampard, I know, but there's a certain level of basics that every football player has, and there are very much a lot of instances where Mudryk hasn't shown the basics, like controlling the ball, scanning, picking the right passes, stuff like that. Yeah, I get that he has to develop that, and that comes with minutes, and playing Chilwell at left wing and having him on the bench consistently for a left back at left wing is not going to give him the experience and the consistency he needs to make the
I just
mistakes
want
and
to
learn from them.
quickly reply to Jazz. I think, but do you know, Jazz? Yeah, I think there's a difference between what I would call experience. How do you quantify experience? Because yes, playing in men's football, yes, you are going to be getting EXP, like for example, right? Like let's not get that twisted. But also, it also depends, yeah, what league you're playing in. Is that league that you're playing in going to help you, improve as a player as well? How would the time you've been playing there, the minutes you've been getting, have you been improving, going from strength to strength, right? That's the thing. Like we can say someone's had experience playing in League One, but does that mean, for example, he's been doing that experience that he's had? Has it been a positive experience? Has it been a negative experience, for example, right? So that's also something else that I would say to consider. But listen, yeah, enough dilly dallying. You know what I'm saying? It's time to get. It's time for me to start cooking. That's what I would say. And listen, man, I want to start with Mr. Mauricio Pochettino. I want to start with him, yeah. And you know what, yeah. Sometimes I understand. Yeah, we as a manager, you've got quotes that you need to make. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you always got a PR handler. I'm pretty sure we all know this. The guy that's next to him in press conference, he's got talking points that he has to say, right? But this guy, man, honestly, like some of the quotes that he comes out with, yeah, are beyond hilarious. He'll be like, "We can't make excuses. We have to win," and then after we showed the game, we go back to what's it called? The experience. The guys still need time. That sort of thing. The injuries. I'm not making excuses about the injuries, but I'm making excuses about the injuries. You get what I'm trying to say? And it's like, oh my god, what bro? Make up your mind, broski. You get what I'm saying? So
I hear
that's and that for me is really annoying. And like for me, yeah, one of the things that I always say, yeah, when it comes to thingy, when it comes to managing, right, yeah, don't boost expectations too highly, because this guy, yeah, remember when he came in, the first time he came, what did he say? I'm here to win. At Chelsea, you cannot lose. Yada yada yada. And then like after pre-season, after Liverpool game, first loss against West Ham, Chelsea, we need time. We need time. These are young players. They need to develop experience. This is stuff that I was already saying, that these guys need time, experience, etc., to evolve, right? And he's now coming up and saying that stuff. So for me, it's just kind of like, bro, like make up your mind, please. Today before the game, no excuses. We must win at Chelsea Football Club. After the interview, where is it? Let me just bring up the quote, yeah, just quickly, yeah, because I have this quote ready. Because like he actually makes me laugh every time, yeah. Every time, like I read some of these man's quotes, yeah, it's actually, oh my lord, man, it's actually jokes. It's actually jokes, man. Where's the quote that I'm looking for? What can I do? If you said to me today, we have all of our players and maybe we cannot win the game, maybe I can tell you, yes, we need to think differently. But with the circumstances, we cannot lie. It's like, but what do you mean? Like the guys that you have now, how many more would change the game for you? I honestly think, yeah, if you say after Nkunku and Buddy Shaw, there is no changes for me in that team. I swear to God, yeah, I don't know if you guys disagree with me, barring Nkunku and Buddy Shaw, there's no changes in that team. Like I don't know where he's going. Maybe even with Reece James, yeah, I don't know. But I can't lie to you. With the way Gusta's been playing, I don't even think that him Reece James coming in is going to make that much of a difference, because I think Gusta's done a great job sliding in for him.
He's just deflecting from the flaws in his own setup. That's all I see here. Unless he's lying to us, and this isn't actually what he thinks, and if he's actually like, I don't even know, but like, if he genuinely thinks that, we need 12 players back fit, if he thinks this setup is good enough, then we are in deep trouble.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you know what, Seth, you haven't spoken, bro. But let's hear your openings. You know what I'm saying? Opening statement, big man.
Okay. So, all this about needing experience, and Poch said he wants experienced players. Do you think he misheard them when they said what the project was when he went to apply for the job?
No.
We were gonna, did he not realise what type of players we were going for, the age we were going for? He signed on the players we were going for. And you were going for younger players. good younger players and stuff like that. Experience doesn't. You don't need experience to finish chances like we did today. You just don't need experience for that. Why doesn't Cole Palmer shoot when he's in front, when he's in the penalty area instead of passing it off to Sterling? And it wasn't even a good pass either. Sterling made that a chance for Cole Palmer, not the other way around. Experience has been the issue at this club for the last 6 years. Our experienced players are the ones that keep letting us down. You know what I mean? Thiago Silva today was a disgrace. Absolute disgrace. He is. And he's been
poor all season. He's been poor all season. Let's just
all season he's been crap, but no one in his fan base wants to say it because he's been good for two years. Dude, I've seen defenders be good for 10 years and I still criticise them. I've seen the best at this club and I criticise them. So I'm going to criticise Thiago Silva. There's this aura around him that he can't be criticised. Like he's doing us a favour.
Bro, I swear to God, Surfer, speak on it, bro. Today, I was saying, defensively, this guy was not looking at it, and obviously, we'll get to something else that you've seen me talk about. Tempo is another thing, bro. And this guy, he holds the ball far too long, bro. It's like 10 seconds and I'm gone. It's back to normal.
Everything down, right? He was in the box and he took so long to get rid of the ball. It actually bounced off the Bournemouth Bournemouth player, and it just about went wide for like a goal kick. Do you know what I mean? In the first half, he got into their half, but it was so slow that the players didn't know what he wanted to do, and then he just crossed it into the box when no one was there or making a run. Now, I'm not saying it's all on Thiago Silva, but the fact that we're having to shoehorn him in and then play Chilwell at left back. And the other thing is, if you're playing an inverted winger, which Mudryk is because he has to come back on his right foot, it means you have to have an overlapping or underlapping left back, to support. That's what helps, okay? So then he can be like a distraction and Mudryk can to move in. But we don't have that. And then you're playing Enzo as a 10. Enzo's not a 10. He had his least effective game today in a Chelsea shirt. But then people wanted him to do all this thing. It's like, you're misprofiling that player. He's the player, the pass before the pass player. All right, that's what he is.
Bro, he was playing left wing at times. This guy was on the left wing in the second half. I was like, what is going on? Like, for me, Go ahead, bro. Sorry.
And then you're bringing in you bring Palmer in first to play on the right. And why not just bring him into play on the 10 right away? You can take Enzo or Gallagher off. I don't think Gallagher was as bad as people are saying today.
You know what? Yeah, I don't think Gallagher's been bad. I agree. But
he breaks down attacks. He's not that player. People telling me he's an attacking midfielder. He's not an attacking midfielder. He's a centre midfielder. That's all he is.
You know what it's
attacking.
The problem is the Palace season, though, when he scored them goals, that's what they go off.
Do you know what the issue is? I'll tell you this,
8.
Do you know what the issue is here with Gallagher? And I'm gonna say this right now, The problem, isn't that Gallagher's isn't himself. I think he's playing all right. The problem is, he's hampering the system, in my opinion, because I don't know why Pochettino keeps pushing him in. I actually think Ugochukwu is fine. If you have Ugochukwu, then you have Enzo there, and then you can play Cole Palmer in that 10 role at the very least. Then you can at least have Mudryk and Sterling on either side. Like for me,
how do we know? To answer someone in the chat, how do we know that Colwell and Disasi don't have better defensive positioning unless Thiago Silva's out of this team? Because there's no doubt that this team has to drop back at least 5 to 10 yards deeper because they've got Thiago Silva in this team, right?
Do you know what?
Everyone has to drop.
You know what is Phoebe though? Phoebe, one thing I'll say, Cole being played at left back, it's kind of unfair to the brother. I'll be real. This guy is primarily a left-sided centre back. We're not even doing this guy justice enough to play him.
That's the thing. That's the thing. I don't like this guy
justice enough. Yeah, we're not even doing him justice enough to play him in his actual position. That's the problem. Like, if we're being honest, like I said this year at halftime, I was on my live stream, with what's it called thingy, and I was like, listen, I would take off Thiago Silva, bring on Chilwell just to play the left back position. Yes, I don't like Chilwell at left back. not so Chilwell defensively. But at the very least, you have Cole at the LCB role, and you can at least have some level of winger that's going to be giving you some level of attacking impotence going forward. Like we saw, when Levi Cole went forward in the second half, there was like a big chance. He literally went all the way to the end. He doesn't have that final ball ability. He doesn't have that attacking stuff going
But
forward.
this statement makes no sense.
It's
Colwill
an
has never
absolute
been a
joke.
left back. Why,
That's what I'm
why are
saying.
you
That's what I'm
expecting
saying.
him-
Colwill
you-
has never touched left back in his career. Not in the Championship, not with Brighton, and all
Not
of a
with
sudden he's not with England, not with under 21s of England. There's no point in his career where he has touched left back for a significant amount of time, if any at all. And all of a sudden, everyone's expecting him to be an overlapping fullback just because Poch puts him there and he's left-footed. Like, you need to allow it, actually. Like, genuinely allow it. And just, like, look at the problem where it lies. Silva is a problem.
Mhm.
And I love Silva as much as the next guy. Probably the second best centre back after Ramos of this generation. I love Silva, but you need to allow it and actually deep how much Silva and shoving Colwill out to left back is fucking with us.
Yes.
And people
Bro.
like to defend Silva, and all of a sudden they're just turning on Disasi as if Disasi hasn't been our best centre back since he's touched the field and since Badiashile got injured. Like, Disasi has actually been saving us so much and like shoring up our defensive structure
Mate.
because Colwill's not a left back. I get it. He's not, and he's left-footed. You want to play Chilwell at left wing because he can get forward and he can create chances. This, that, and the other. Fuck, I don't give a shit. Silva's not good anymore. Respectfully, I love him, but he's not good anymore.
Did you guys see when Disasi made that slide tackle and gave that foul away? How quickly the TL exploded! Like that just stinks of agenda, man. I can't lie. He actually had a good game today.
The thing with disaster, is that everyone is looking to call him disaster. You know what I'm saying? When you have that sort of, that's all it is. I'll be real with disaster, but like, I just think for me,
I don't get it, man.
Listen, that's just Twitter for you. You know what I'm saying? Just love being reactionary, but like, what I think if you blinking up, Igor Chukwu at times would be hiding from the back. Then Silva calls him so that he can move and become an option. But people don't want to see, bro. See, I was watching that. I was watching the game. Igor Chukwu was in space, and then he was telling him to come forward.
Even if you're right, even if you're correct there, it's his first Premier League start. He's 18 years old. There's a difference here.
Yeah, but like, I don't get it though. Like, why everything's like, the problem is everybody keeps thinking that Silva's perfect. 1, he's 39. 2, he's slow. 3, his depth perception, all those intangibles, they're fading. Respectfully, because he's literally clocking forward.
This is the thing. It's just, what I noticed is his decision making. I'm not even that bothered about the pace and all that. But like Andrew said, when we were meant to clear that ball and he tried to pass it out and it nearly went in for our own goal, that's decision making. That's all up in the head. That's got nothing to do with the fact that he's 39 years old and like in the sense that he's getting slower.
No. Yeah, well, not like as in physically slower, but like
that's what I mean. It's not a physical aspect. That's a mental aspect.
Yeah, of course. But that's what I'm saying. That there's obviously it's not like drastic. I'm not trying to say like he's stupid or he doesn't have it anymore. But when you get to a certain age, like there's certain like things mentally that just don't click as quickly, and you see all the time. You see it with Zlatan. You see it with Ronaldo. You see it with Buffon. These are some of like the smartest players you will ever see touch the game. And as they progress in age or as they age, they get slower with certain things. And that's not like a bad thing. That's just biology. It's not that deep. But the thing is, we're obviously trying with Silva starting and putting Colwill left back. Obviously, we're trying to make sure that our right hand side is strong and we can go forward, and that Colwill playing left back is just to help shore up the defense in a sense of like defending transitions, whatever, because an extra centre back is always good, blah 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
But what people need to understand is that we can't keep vilifying the young players just to protect the older players, because again, experience is subjective. You can be so young, but you can understand so much about the game because of how many minutes you play. Ugochukwu has more experience than Lavia, like we said earlier. Mudryk play. Everyone's like, "Oh, Mudryk has however many appearances, all these chances, blah 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 blah." You look at the You look at how many of those appearances add up to 90 minutes in total,
They don't.
or better yet, add up to 10 minutes in total per appearance, because he's
This is
literally
probably his
getting.
longest game.
Yeah, this is his longest
game.
game.
Yeah.
It is his longest game.
I think this is the first game he's actually made it 10 minutes past halftime while starting. I'm pretty sure
what it
it's
is?
his very
You know what it
first
is,
game.
Mudryk, yeah? I spoke about him today, yeah? I said in my thing, yeah, Mudryk, I think he created the most dangerous plays for us. There's no doubt about that in the first half. Second half was a bit more less of a stronger, but like for me, I think the reason one of the things with him, yeah, I noticed, yeah, is the off the ball runs. He doesn't make that many off the ball runs. That's one thing I did notice about him. Like his off the ball work definitely needs to improve. But again, that's something that you do at a training ground with Pochettino, which we need to get to that guy soon. You know what I'm saying? That's someone we need to get to, because like with him, that's the thing I noticed with Mudryk, the off the ball runs. And like the thing for me as well, yeah, is that what's really confused me. Everyone was hitting the right wing. What, like,
Yeah.
and the thing for me is that's confusing me, yeah, is that last time I checked, we have bare left footers, people that can use their left foot. Like, surely does no one want to use their left foot or something? Like surely by now, yeah, we should have realized after the Nottingham Forest game, the jig is up, lads. They know that it's Sterling and Jackson on the right wing. Like, surely. But no, we keep on hitting the right wing, and like something that I haven't noticed here about Enzo.
Yeah, but that has to do with the setup, though, no?
No, not really, because you've now got Mudryk now. You've got Mudryk in that setup.
No. As in the sense that you see how Sterling, Jackson, Gusto, right?
Yeah.
We always bang it down the right, even when James was here and Gusto was starting. We're always banging it down the right. Why? Because we don't trust the left hand side. Why? Because there's a centre back at left back, and you're asking a centre back to do a left back's job when you have 3 left backs on the fucking bench.
I get that, but at the same time, I think that's a fair point. But at the same time, though, surely you've now got Mudryk there. You can pass it to an attacker, bro. At least you know there's a centre back behind him that's going to defend at the very least. So
yeah, that's true.
Can you not say that too? But that's the thing. Like, I've noticed with Enzo, yeah, I'll be real. This guy feels like, yeah, at times he's very right-footed. Like, I don't see him use his left foot that much. I'll be real. Like, I don't know if people have noticed that.
He's right-footed.
Yeah, he's right.
No.
Yeah,
like,
we understand.
It's too, like, but for me, it's like almost like you know, like how when we used to say
he's too dependent on it. He's
too
dependent.
Ziyech, it was just like that. This guy left foot, yeah. Like with Enzo, it kind of like
he's Madueke on the left. Madueke is left-footed and doesn't use his right.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's modern day football.
Yeah, that's fine. Being really one-footed isn't a bad thing. The problem is that the players around him, they're also kind of the same in the sense that they're so heavily dependent on that one foot, and primarily our players are right-footed, that everything when Enzo wants to move into certain spaces, and Gallagher, who obviously loves to attack, he wants to move into certain spaces. And when Caicedo, when he's playing, he wants to move into the same spaces. They all move into the same spaces sometimes, and because they're all so right foot dependent, that it just becomes like very what's the word? It just
predictable
phases out basically. Well, not necessarily predictable, but like it kind of like it repels itself basically. Like it just that whatever that word is, but we're so heavily dependent, and because the left side isn't so trusted, like we always everybody just subconsciously shifts to the right, so everything just does look like everything's so dependent on the right footers or the right hand side, blah blah blah. So we're always just pushing it out to the right hand side, because why? Because the right hand side is the side that's producing shit. The left-hand side isn't producing nothing. Chilwell's not producing it. Mudrik's not producing it, but God bless his soul, because what else is he supposed to do with however minutes he's getting a game? This is his longest game he's ever played in a Chelsea shirt.
Mhm.
And Colwill at left back, and Colwill's not a left back, he's a centre back. Like, how are you supposed? And we don't even play Maatsen, who is a more dynamic left back than Chilwell. He can do a job at left wing. We saw it all through preseason, scoring goals, getting assists, doing all these dribbles, cutting inside, overlapping runs, all these things, and he's not getting a sniff.
Bro, we need to discuss that
longest
one
game
too. I'll
was.
be real. Is it a
his
contract
longest-
thing?
I
You
don't
think it's a
even know
contract
what it
situation?
is. I don't even know
I don't
what it
But
is.
if it's-
because
But if it's a contract, Ahmed, why is he coming off the bench?
That's what's
At all.
confusing me, bro. That's
what I'm
confusing
saying.
me. Because we're hearing they're trying to get him to sign a new contract deal. They also there was rumors before this game that he might not even be in the match day squad. So it's there's a lot of stuff that you're hearing around him, and then you still start on him off the bench. And the thing for me is, let's say you don't believe Chilwell is not good enough. Let's say at the left back situation, of course, Kukurea, he seems to be trying to force him out. I can get that, right? Then why not try Maatsen out then? You know what I mean? You already let Lewis Hall go essentially. So now let's try Maatsen at the left back situation. You know what I'm saying? You've not tried him there, obviously in preseason. I can understand it, but let's see how he does there alongside someone like a Mudryk on that left hand side.
Yeah, but the problem is we went through that entire preseason playing one way, and as soon as the first minutes of the Premier League touches, we completely switch. We go to something that we didn't train in, we didn't play games in, and that we haven't seen up until the first minute of the Premier League. Like, all of a sudden, Chilwell's a left winger. When? All of a sudden, Colwell's a left back. When? All of a sudden, Maatsen gets dropped after those insane performances in preseason. Why?
You know what it is? You know what I'll say to that? I understand that, bro. But the reality of the situation is, for me, Jez, is that if you have a guy like Chilwell that isn't working for you in that situation, and a guy like Kukurea that's not working in the situation, you gotta use the guy that you may not want as your ideal fullback. You gotta use what you have available to you. Sometimes you gotta use the tools that you have available for you. And if you have someone like a very young player like himself, then why not use it? But
even if he doesn't want to use them, get the player or find a player. You have all these players at your disposal. Find someone and coach them in a certain way to allow you to play the way you want to. Well, I guess it's not Cucurella, because we already know Cucurella's on his way out. Slowly but surely, he's gonna leave the club, whether it's in January or next summer. You don't trust Maatsen at left back. You obviously don't trust Chilwell at left back, because you wouldn't be playing him at left wing if you trust him at left back. So if you don't trust Chilwell at left back, and you don't trust Maatsen at left back, you don't trust Cucurella at left back. All three are natural left backs, but you don't trust any of them at left back. But all of a sudden, you're gonna trust a centre back who's never played left back at left back. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like just speaking it out like that. And you're wondering, how the hell does a top level coach, quote unquote top level coach, who's getting paid all these millions of dollars to problem solve or just to even put out a proper lineup, can't think of it like that? You have three left backs that you don't trust at left back, but all of a sudden you're willing to trust a centre back who's never played left back at left back.
Do you know what I would say to this comment, Thief, though? Like, 6'7" Dan Burn overlapping at left back.
But Dan Burn's a left back. What are we doing here?
But Dan Burn actually has experience as a left back before he played that position. Before he was a centre back at what's it called? Brighton.
Sorry, this is a fallacy. Dan Burn never overlapped. Okay, have you seen the way he overlapped?
He doesn't overlap. He's
a centre. I tell you what, they play four at the back. He's a centre back that allows Trippier to get forward, because when Trippier gets forward, they then play three at the back when they attack. Okay. He's an extra centre back playing at left back. Okay, it's the reason why they wanted a left back this summer, is because they knew probably people would get onto Dan Burn, and I can't believe people didn't last season and cook him. Okay, he's not an overlapping left back. That is so false. Unbelievable.
But even if he's not
just
an
quickly
overlapping
on this one,
centre back, on the odd chance that he does overlap, he's actually more like accustomed to left back. Like, I know he's not like a traditional down pat left back, but at least he has a good amount of experience at that side.
Yep.
He has experience
Yeah, I
playing
mean,
fullback.
Before he was at
You want-
Newcastle, he was
the
playing
better-
in
the-
He was playing in Brighton, right?
left centre back on Potter's back three.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm.
Yeah.
So
the better example to give is the better example to give of mostly a centre back who can play left back, who does a bit of the overlapping himself on the odd occasion. Okay, that's the better example to give. You're trying to do that with a guy who doesn't play left back, and for anyone says anything, we play 4 at the back. Colwell has chalk on his boots from this game. Okay, he was that far on the left, but he's not. He tried to do it a couple of times, but he doesn't have the physique to do that. Okay, he is a centre back. Okay, a pure centre back of the pitch. Okay, Brighton didn't play him at left back, did they? Brighton never played him at left back last season at all. No. So
Not even
why
in
are
the
we
championship,
trying
they
to-
didn't even put him at left back.
They didn't even play him at championship. They didn't play him under 21s at left back, did they?
Yeah.
In the summer?
Mm-mm.
No.
No.
So why is it
So-
now, when you never used him in pre-season at left back, are you trying to do that now?
100%,
Makes
bro.
no sense whatsoever.
Just
No
quickly,
sense.
Tim C, though, I don't know why Gallagher was captain when you have Thiago Silva. Apparently, there's like something about like they're trying to face Thiago Silva out. That's why they're just giving the captaincy.
They give it to Enzo or something.
Give it to-
Give it
I
to
haven't-
Enzo. Wait. But if the idea is to phase him out, why are we playing him? If the
Exactly.
idea is to
That's what I'm saying to you, bro. It's
So
like-
Why is
wait,
he-
hold on. So if the idea is to phase him out, why the fuck are we playing him?
That's what I'm saying to you, Jared, bro. It doesn't make sense.
every league game, every minute of every league game.
That's what I'm
He's playing-
saying. He's playing.
Yeah.
He's playing 90 minutes consistently, but reports are starting to say, "Oh, we're trying to slowly phase him out." So what? Taking the armband from him when he was third choice, anyways, is phasing him out, but he's still getting 90 minutes. Like where's the logic? Where's the logic? Please tell me. I'm begging you.
No logic. No logic.
Yeah,
Like
well,
I
it's,
know, I'm stupid, but like please, help me. Please, I'm begging you.
No, you're not stupid, man. We all agree.
Listen, Gabriel, to this quote, Matson hype is grafting. He did well in preseason upper. But the thing is, Gabriel, this guy was playing in that position at Burnley too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
This
he's
guy,
playing left back at Burnley.
not
like,
just
what?
left back. He was even playing left mid at times for Burnley because he can play that position too. Like he can play on that left side pretty much in all positions, left back, left wing back, and left mid. So he's played there before. That's
He
the
can
thing.
invert and overlap.
Yes.
can do both.
Yeah.
And that's the thing for me. Like, obviously, I know Des is saying that he's not his ideal, what's it called, left back, but he's got Kukurea and Chilwell. Would you rather Kukurea and Chilwell, or would you rather someone else that might not be his ideal left back, but he's at least providing all the other attributes that he may need? That's
Well, the
what
way I see it, this guy is just, Potts has just clearly like decided he's not going to take risks anymore. I mean, you know, we saw the quotes today, didn't we? You know, if we don't win, we can't lose. Bruv, a draw is just as bad as a loss. You're prioritizing singular points like we're a team at the bottom of the table. And I know we are right now, but is that really the aspiration?
5
No,
points from 5 games, man.
You know, we
5
really
points from as
got-
many games.
You know, if we
5
continue at this
points.
rate, yeah, we're only going to be able to make 38 points, guys. Literally, that's going to be lower than what we did
Protect the
last
point. That's the most
That's
ridiculous thing I've
crazy.
ever heard, man.
Oh man.
Yeah.
But we didn't even protect the point because they
Yeah.
We didn't even protect it.
We're not even protecting
No,
it.
Sanchez protected.
protected it. Sanchez protected it. Sanchez
Bro,
protected
I
it.
cannot lie to you, man. Yeah. When I say this, there was actual times, yeah, I would just look at it. I was like, yeah, that's Bournemouth 1-0. Written it. I was just saying it in the stream. Like, I saw 1-0. And then it would, like, Solanke would just fumble it, or it would be Billings that would be fumbling it, or like Christie, one of them, like, one of those three would, like, be fumbling it all the time. But, like, you know what? Let's get to Pochettino, man. Because, like, this guy, yeah, I don't know what's cooking. Like, I don't mind the formation. This is the formation he was playing in preseason. That's what he's saying. Like, we need to, I've said this before, and I'll say this again. Yeah. Tempo is the big thing in football. Chelsea and tempo does not exist right now. We are playing the way we move. We move worse than a turtle. You know, honestly, like we'll get into the attack range. We won't be able to build up. Okay, let's recycle the ball. 2 minutes later, we're back to where we are. Reverse. 2 minutes later, reverse.
Bro.
It's me.
Bro,
Honestly,
we've been
story of
doing
our lives.
this.
Well-
We've been doing this since Jorginho came in. Like we're just consistently recycling the ball, trying to hold possession, and all we're doing is just like, oh, look at our possession stats. Look at this stat. Look at that stat. Like, what are we supposed to do with that?
Yes, bro.
The-
You know,
the
I
thing I
heard
like
today.
is-
Yeah, quickly before you go, Surfer. Yeah, I heard today. Yeah, a stat something people saying we controlled the game today. I heard someone that I know say we did not control that game. People need to stop lying to themselves. You know, just because we've had 70% position, does not mean we've controlled the game. We had Mr. Jose Mourinho. We had Jose Mourinho as a manager. What did he tell us about that?
The proper
don't need to have
response to that. The proper
Honestly,
response to that
bro.
is. The proper response to that should be, yeah, we should. We're playing Bournemouth, right? We should have control of the game. Yeah, that's what we should. It shouldn't be a boast to say we had control of the game. It should be, yeah, we should do because it's Bournemouth, right? What I don't, when you say about the tempo, and this was Thiago Silva comes into a bit more, is then whoever's at the back when they have to pass the ball back, then throws their arms up in the air. The forward players' problems when it bypasses Thiago Silva. Today, the tempo was quicker. Okay? It was quicker. It got to Ugo Chukwu, it got to Gallagher, it got to Enzo, whatever. It got to the wide man, and it was quicker. Okay? It got to Gusto and Colwell and Disasi.
I think Gallagher slowed it down. I can't lie.
I don't know. I don't think Gallagher slowed. I just.
The problem with Gallagher is he can't play on the turn. So when he receives it from the back line, he can't turn and then play forward.
Yeah.
No, but that's fine. That's true. The issue I have is this is not a new phenomenon.
Mhm.
Okay, so I tweeted it out. This is from 2017, bro. We are playing the same football for 6 years. Yeah, we're under 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 permanent managers. Yeah, for 6 years we've been playing the same type of slow, great chances, don't take them for. Still surprised after 6 years that we're still playing this type of football. It's hope and optimism will kill everyone. Okay, that's why this preseason, and I'll get to this because I've got a thing that sums up this team at this moment, this match. But when I'm seeing in the summer, third, fourth. And I'm going, bro, we are Manchester United without Rashford. You do realise that, right?
Mm-hmm.
We are. If you stick, he would just about get us maybe a top 5 finish, right, with his goals. That's it. That's all we are. And to sum up this team, no urgency, the slowness. Does anyone remember the play in the last minute of that game in injury time? The side-to-side passing. The no urgency to get into the box to try and get a late winner. And they were just strolling around like they were 2-0 up. Like they'd won the game. No urgency whatsoever. That's that's performance up today. The ending of that game. When they were, because I was screaming at it, just fucking get it in the box. Everyone just load in and get it in the box. Just throw it in there. Everyone get in there. And they didn't. They were passing it sideways to sideways. Honestly, it's just honestly, take some ownership. I know he's only just arrived, but Cole Palmer, you got to shoot when you're in that. When you're in a penalty
No,
area.
the thing is, if Cole Palmer was wearing a Man City jersey just now in that situation, he's laying that. He's lighting that into the top corner.
And even if he isn't, he's gonna wait. Even if he isn't, he waits to pass to Sterling correctly. He doesn't overpower it like the way he did.
Exactly,
Bro, that was the story of Chelsea, man.
Cole Palmer either booms that or he puts out an accurate pass in that we don't see. All of it. If for some reason, every time a coach comes, the instant thing is to play 3-4 centre backs at one time. When a player comes, they forget how to attack. When a player comes, they forget how to pass, they forget how to dribble, they forget how to defend. A goalkeeper comes, they forget how to catch the fucking ball. They forget how to communicate. They forget how to command their box. Like all of us, when you put on a Chelsea jersey, it's like they just forget every fundamental, basic idea of football.
But why though? Because we have a different ownership now. We have a different coaching staff. We have a different manager. We have a different team. Like, what the hell do we need to change now?
Like I don't know
What needs to
For
change?
some- Like I can
Well,
understand.
you
Like I
can't-
can understand under Roman, right? I can understand under Roman. There's an insane level of pressure when a manager comes in for Chelsea when it comes to being under Roman, because if you don't perform, if you don't get the results, you're done. He doesn't. It doesn't matter if it's like the next day, the next week, the next hour, the next minute. He will sack you without a second thought because he's got money to blow.
Bro,
like
he
that.
sacked Ancelotti for finishing second after he won the double.
Yup, bro.
Yeah.
People forget that.
That's what I'm saying.
Mhm.
That's what I'm saying.
This
The-
guy
the
sacked Di
standard-
Matteo 6 months after winning the Champions League. That's just-
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like he doesn't give a shit if you're not getting the results that he wants. He will sack you, but he's not here
Yes.
anymore.
But
He's
the-
not here
you-
anymore.
You,
The
know what I'm
problem-
gonna say to that? You know what I'm gonna say? Yeah, I'm gonna say this. Yeah, everything right now at Chelsea, it seems to be they seem to at least be somewhat preparing us to be an ideal situation. I don't know, but I feel like for me, maybe it's just the manager choice was the wrong choice. I'll be real. Maybe that just might just come down to that because, like, for me, Pochettino right now, the tactics are not tacticking right now. Like, you know,
No, but we
it
can
Yeah,
just
but he's
maybe
got
this
to
might be
play
the
that.
manager.
No,
It has
but
to be the
hold on,
manager,
but
man.
we can say that the tactics are not doing what they're supposed to do, but like we saw what Poch is capable of coaching in preseason. But the problem lies.
But what is
in
but,
how
but the
the
problem
hell-
for me? But the thing for me, Jared, yeah, what makes you change from plan A to plan B then? What how you
That's
can't
it's
just
not
be
even
in
plan A
Cafu.
to plan B. This is plan A to plan out my ass. What's going on?
Honestly, well, like, this is the question. Like, this is the million
No,
dollar
please
question
tell
to
me.
The
Please
million
tell
dollar-
me. It's plan
The
A
million-
to plan out my batty crease because how the fuck do you switch from a 4-2-3-1 with playing left backs at left back, wingers at wing, centre backs at centre back, and we're scoring goals, we're free flowing, we're doing all this and that, and we're doing all these types of skills. It's looking like a FIFA game in real life. And then when the Premier League comes, all of a sudden Colwell's a left back, Chilwell's a
Why?
left
But-
winger.
But for
No,
me,
but
Like,
Oh,
what's
hang on.
going on?
Ahmed, you say it could be the wrong manager, but Tuchel did this. Potter did this. Like, have we really just hired 3 managers in a row that do
you
the
know what I
same
would say
thing?
to you, Oliver, though, yeah? I'll say this, yeah. I think with Tuchel, we know Tuchel was just like he was just doing the tactical thing with the players that he had at the time. I'll be real with Tuchel. That's the only thing
Yeah,
I can
I
give
understand
to
that.
Tuchel. With Potter, he just like dug himself a hole where essentially he was fighting for his job as well.
Hang on.
So
hang on,
that
hang on.
Potter thing has messed us up, by the way, because you remember what you were saying about how under Roman there was loads of pressure on the manager. Well, these owners decided to bring Potter in and then put it out into the media that we're going to judge him on years, not months, and then they eventually succumbed to the fans' pressure. And I'm not saying that Potter should still be here, but they've dug themselves a grave there.
No, I get
Here's
that.
the thing, right? The Tuchel thing, I understand him going super defensive right at the start. I understand that. But man also then didn't have a plan B. All right? He would still stick to that same position when he's bringing on Ziyech to play right wing back in a Champions League game. All right? He didn't have, you know what I mean? I understand when you first start and it's continued like that, but there really was no evolution or plan B. He would just stick to the same subs. The subs will go into the same position, no change up whatsoever, ever hardly. And it worked to a certain degree, a certain time, up until like Reece James in that December. And then we got the takeover, and then it just went all tits up, right? Potter should have been the most bulletproof manager we ever had, right? Given the way that he was brought in, he's brought out. The man played Raheem Sterling at right wing back, bro. He played him at right. We played Raheem Sterling at right wing back. Yeah,
Jay!
terrorist he was. Yeah, terrorist. This guy. Yeah, I don't know what. I know. Listen, I know Chelsea. Last 20 years, people, it's defense first and something like that. But what I will credit, which I didn't like his own thing, which I will credit Sarri for, was he didn't do that at the start. Yeah, he didn't do that. He sort of changed his thing after we got.
He was uncompromising. That was the thing with him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
It was
the
he's
thing.
he's that stubborn. That's the problem.
Yes.
I don't think the managers
Yeah,
that we
that's
brought
the
in
thing,
were
though, but it's
stubborn
like-
enough.
But Pochettino shouldn't. This is now basically this squad after getting the Deadwood out, and it's a big lump of clay, right? It's not formed, yeah. It's not formed. He can do with it whatever he wants, right? And he's literally done a 180 from pre-season to now, yeah. So basically, what you're telling me, Poch, is that pre-season doesn't matter now anymore, right? You're trying to put your ideas across, and pre-season doesn't matter. Now, to a certain extent, I can understand the way he lined up against Liverpool, seeing as Liverpool went full attack, right? I think he changed it because he tried to counteract their all attackers, and it sort of
understand
went
that.
well. It sort of went well, but when you're like, and sort of like the first half against West Ham, it went well. Sort of, you know what I mean? We were back to them. We
West
should have been up.
Ham. I mean,
First
we
half.
look at it. Yeah, first half. But I mean, the first half
Yeah.
could have been better anyway.
But remember, guys, guess
I was
who got injured at West Ham? Chukwuemeka. And again, like that's what I'm saying to you. Like, if your
Yeah.
squad, is relying on a guy like Chukwuemeka, a 19-year-old Chukwuemeka, or like previous slated in Cuckoo, you have problems. That is what I'm saying to you. Like, you cannot be relying on singular players, and if they're not in the squad, like your system falls apart, and you have to create a completely new system for it to work out.
That's what I'm
The-
saying. That's what I'm
the
saying.
problem.
That's what I've been trying to say. Like,
We literally
Yes.
went through this with Tuchel with the wing backs.
Yes. Like if
Yeah.
Reece
We've already
James
done
is-
this before.
if Reece James is not
and
there,
pre-injuries
Sure.
Chilwell weren't there, we were screwed. We see Aspi in the lineup once under Tuchel, and we're like, yeah, fuck, we're losing.
or when he started trying to use Ruben Loftus-Cheek as like a fail safe for when
As a right wing back,
Oh
and it did
my
work.
God.
And it did work for like 2 or 3 games.
For a
worked
time,
like
yeah.
2 or 3 games. It worked for 2 or 3
Well,
games.
even
until
Alonso,
Tuchel
remember
popped
Alonso,
him.
guys? Remember Alonso? When
No,
we
no.
had
I don't
Alonso.
want to.
Hey, easy.
No, but just quickly before we continue this conversation, 1 hour in, make sure to like, share, subscribe, and if you've got a bit of change, you can also send in the super chat, or you can also go and get a channel membership from me, Bish Bash Bong. But listen, man, obviously I know we've been talking about the players, everything else in general, but like I think for me, are you worried about Pochettino next against Aston Villa, guys? And I'll be real, Diaby, big
Nah,
trouble,
no, please. I'm begging you.
big trouble.
I am-
Bailey
I'm
and
begging you, I'm
Diaby,
begging you,
bro.
I'm begging you,
I
I'm
can't
begging
lie
you.
to you. These men
Watkins,
are
Watkins.
in red hot form.
Oh no!
They are. Listen, they're not. This is not Solanke we're facing. This is not Billings we're facing. Watara, we're not facing Watara anymore. Christie, we're facing guys here that will kill you.
Oh,
I'm telling
God.
you, and then after that, guess who's got after that, guys? By the way, Brighton.
Brighton
after
in
that.
the cup, right? Brighton
So
in the cup.
honestly, worrying
No.
times.
I'm on my knees. I'm begging. Pause for on the knees, but I'm begging. Please do not have Colwell at left back versus Diaby, because it is going to be a slaughterfest. It's going to be
But then
murder.
who are we playing there that's going to be defensively good enough? That's the conundrum.
I don't know. Poch needs to figure out how he can call up
ready.
Jesus
Caicedo
himself.
apparently is going to be ready for the Aston Villa game. But
Oh, he better be.
Huh?
Caicedo.
Caicedo is going to be available for the Aston Villa. game,
Caicedo
apparently.
missing Caicedo wasn't the issue today, though. Do you know what
I know. I'm here from a
That's what I'm saying.
CDM role.
It's like
He wasn't the
everyone's-
problem.
Bro, can you talk about Sterling quickly,
Oh.
man? I need to talk about my guy Sterling. The guy that I used to
Hit it, yeah, yeah.
But everyone's going, I can't wait till Badashile's back. Why? What's he gonna do?
Well, what? So he can play left back now.
Oh my god! I just want to say quickly, bro. That's actually worrying,
Now we were joking about that. Me and Scott were joking about that on the Casually stream last night.
Oh no, because I can see it now. I can see it.
Yo, if I see
Hey,
that-
he's doing the Dan Burn role. He's a big tall guy.
Oh my god! That's what I'm
No,
saying.
imagine,
How about
imagine
this?
Gusto gets injured.
How
now.
about this?
Imagine Gusto gets
How about
injured
this?
now.
He goes, he plays 5 at the back, puts Badashile in, but keeps Colwell as a left wing back.
Chad,
Oh my
Oh, Tuchel, is that you?
Tuchel, is that you?
Oh my god.
By the way, do you guys see he played Conrad Lima at right back against?
But he,
Yeah, I saw
Yeah.
that, man. Oh my lord, this guy.
And
man,
then
he-
someone told me on Lewis's stream they think he's elite. They think
hey, yo,
Tuchel's an elite coach. An elite
that's
coach.
crazy.
Oh,
You know what I
you
mean?
know what?
Very good
You know-
coach.
This guy, and I think he's a good. By the way, he's a totally elite level, bro. I'm telling you right now. Listen. When you're playing like Lima at right back, you're taking Kimmich off. But for some reason, he's got a big issue with Kimmich for some reason. I don't know what it is, but he's got that. But man, he's
Top
just
two
lucky he's got
DMs
Harry
in the
Kane.
world, by the way.
It's lucky he's got Harry Kane. That's all I'm saying right now. Although
Mm.
last season he literally won the league because Borussia Dortmund bottled it right at the end. You know what I mean? Like that. This man went out the German Cup, Champions League, but that's a side note. Go on. What were you going to
Yeah.
say, man?
I just want to say, man, listen, man. Poch, man, he's on. Listen, I mean, the watch, we're watching you. I say the night watch, as they say. They're watching you. We're watching you from the Justice League Tower. I don't know, the Avengers Mansion, whatever you want to say. We got eyes on you, big man, because the fraudulence is crazy. You know what I mean? Like today, when I saw Chilwell wasn't playing and he put Madrid, I was like, wow, has the game changed? Has the tactical changed? But nothing's changed. Like
Enzo at the number 10. Oh my.
no, like and for me, yeah, I can understand when people say, "Oh, we need to have guys that are malleable that can play multiple positions." But like sometimes, bro, there are some positions that players can't play. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna keep it, there are some positions that players just cannot play. Like let's just keep it. Let's keep it how it is. And I want to talk about a bit more about that strike force. Obviously, we spoke about Mudryk.
You're saying about Sterling, right?
Yeah, listen.
Yeah.
I was cooking this brother a lot, preseason. Obviously, he proved me wrong in the first 3 games, I would say. He's played really well. This game and the game before, the previous game against Nottingham Forest and this game, no comment, man. Like, for me, when it comes down to Sterling, yeah, decision making we've known about for a while, but like sometimes, bro, the decision making, yeah, if he made some of those decisions 5 seconds earlier, he actually would have produced a much better high quality chance, in my opinion. And like, obviously, there was that chance where he hit him in the crotch instead of for some reason, which Gusten gave up.
No, I mean, I rewatched that. That was actually Gallagher. Was it the one where Mudryk crossed it, right?
Yeah, Gallagher.
That was Gallagher, not Sterling.
Oh, okay. Whoever it was, yeah. Oh my lord.
The thing about Sterling is, right, people can talk about Sterling's performances. He's not doing this. He's not creating enough chances. This and that. You go back to when he was at City. I'm not gonna go as far back as Liverpool because he was a different player at Liverpool, or a different type of winger at Liverpool. But when you go back to how he was being used at City, he's not a chance-creating winger at City. Sterling made a name for himself at City as a goal-scoring winger, as a finishing winger, as an end product winger. Whether it's just sending it across the box slightly from like a good through pass, or just tucking it in the corner or at the back post, something like that. Sterling is not a chance-creating winger; he's a chance-finishing winger, and the sooner we realize that, the better. Because we're doing all these mental gymnastics and shit like that around Sterling and trying to vilify him in every possible way we can to say that he's not good enough. We need this kind of winger. We need another winger. We need to go out and get Cherokee. We need to go out to get this guy, that guy, whatever. Sterling got a lot of assists, but it's not like assists don't mean you're a chance creator. Like, deep it. Assists don't mean
you know what
you're a
it
chance
is, yeah.
creator.
You know what's confusing me, and I'll say this, yeah, before we move on from Sterling, right? Is that you've brought in Mudryk, someone that predominantly is maybe an assist fast winger. You've brought in Madueke. I'll probably say something similar about him to be honest. He's much more, you're right. Cole Palmer, you can say somewhat of a similar thing, right? So let's clearly the approach the club is going for wingers that are dynamic enough to be much more assistant to do so. Then how are we gonna fit Sterling into that equation?
Well,
I think
the
Sterling
thing
was
is,
fine today.
the thing is, you can play.
No,
Madueke
I'm
and
not even
Sterling
talking about his performance, right? I'm talking about
just fit him into the squad.
Yeah, because like then you run into the thing of like if you're saying you're bringing in wingers that are more assist minded first than shoot first, because remember we're saying that Sterling is more sort of like a goal scoring winger, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
So
So if Sterling's is a goal first kind of winger, then you pair him with an assist kind of winger. But the thing is, we can't expect it from Mudryk as yet, because obviously we all love saying Mudryk's raw and he needs time. When Mudryk gets to that stage where he's able to consistently create those chances, or he's in a swing of form where he's able to do that, that's when you play Mudryk with Sterling a lot more. But I don't know. But the same could be said for Palmer. The same could be said for Madueke. They all need minutes. So the one thing
he needs
is,
to get off the medical bay fast, man. The way he's
yeah,
moving.
man. Madueke needs to
Sound
make it past
risky.
the medical bay. Like it's like GTA with Madueke. Like you send him out for like however many minutes, he gets killed and he's back at the hospital already. Like he's just constantly respawning by the hospital in GTA
Yeah.
5, man.
Yeah.
Like
You know what? Yeah,
Alright.
let's go into Jackson, because Jackson.
Jackson's just a victim of his own abilities at this point.
Oh my god, bro! I can't lie to you. I actually laughed for 15 minutes. Are you even
Nah,
laughing?
man. That shot,
That shot he took on the left.
Lord.
Oh my god.
Oh my god! I just love at my own player, bro. That chance.
But
Yo, he was on the
Oh
disco, man. He was creasing badly.
Oh, bro. Oh my god! I couldn't believe it, man. This is like, you know what I mean? It's just crazy, bro. Like that shot was so
I love
mad. Like,
Jackson, but that was too funny. That was too funny, man.
oh
That
my
was too
god,
funny.
bro! It's actually
Jackson-
mad, you know.
I saw a tweet. It was like you know, like those like you know, like those like doll toys that you have where like you can like dent their head.
Yeah.
Damn.
It was like saying that's what happened to the person that the
Nah, but his performance
Oh
today,
my-
Jackson, bro. It's not looking good for him, bro. But like,
Nah, man.
I'll be
I
honest
said
with
it
you.
in the
Well,
group.
with-
I said it in the group chat, like based on like how many the shots that we were taking or the shots that were happening in that game,
Mhm.
we're killing more fans than games. Like I said in the group chat, we're killing more fans than games, man. Like,
Oh my
that
god,
rough.
man! Honestly,
Like,
man,
I
you know,
love
like there was
Jackson.
a stat. There was a stat, by the way. I think it was before the game or it was during the game, yeah, where we've had zero shots, like 0 goals from our last 34 shots, and that was I think either mid game or just before the game.
that was mid game.
Mid game, yeah, mid game. And like we didn't score any, and we've had a bunch of more shots afterwards. So like we're almost hitting the range of 0 out of 50, like over 50, man.
We definitely. I haven't looked up the stats, but I know for sure we have one of the worst shooting accuracies in the Premier League.
No, we definitely do. I'm sure of that one as well.
No.
I
You know
I need
what's
someone to
wild?
look up exactly what position
know
we're
what's
in.
wild?
But
You know what's
my
wild? You know what's wild? The fact that when Jackson was at Villarreal, he missed half a season and came out one of the statistically best finishers in La Liga. He came out.
he was
last
the most clinical.
He had
that was the
he
stat.
had the highest conversion rate of any player in La Liga, and that's a league that had Benzema. That's a league that had Lewandowski. That's a league that had Griezmann. That's a league that had those types of strikers. Jackson came out of a Villarreal side that lost to Unai Emery halfway through the season as the best finisher in the league.
Mhm.
And all of a sudden, when he comes to Chelsea, he can't shoot for shit.
Bro, this
Coincidence?
guy
I
was
think not.
playing with my boy. This guy was playing with Jeremy Pino, Gerard Moreno, a 33-year-old at this one, 34-year-old striker. There's another guy whose name I forget, and he was cooking. You know what I'm saying? This is what I'm saying to you. This is like what I'm not sure like what's happening. Even in preseason, he was doing well, but for me, what I'm not understanding yet
You know
is just
I'll tell you what
what's
the difference is. The difference is he was playing with a 10 in pre-season. He's got to, it's literally I think the West Ham game all over again. He's got to drop deep and create his own chances pretty much. Like it's really unsustainable. I don't even think there was a point today where he actually got into a proper goal scoring position. I couldn't name you a chance that he missed, and you were like, okay, he's got to do better there. Besides the one that went into the crowd, but
you know what?
there was no angle there.
You know what it comes down to, do Oliver. I said this before. Like, you know, if we're not creating these chances for him. Like, you know, a lot of these chances, who are they coming to? Gallagher, Sterling, I think had a chance, right? Like a lot of these guys that are behind him are getting the chances. Like because of the fact we're not. I don't know why that is. Like I've tried to look at his position in the game, yeah, and I don't know. And there's times where I'll look at Sterling and I'm like, if you hit the end there, that's an open thing for him. But then, like when I think there was that chance there was another one for Gallagher where I'm like, if he hit the end first time, that's for him. Same with Gusto at times, and like it seems that they're not even looking at him. Like Modric is the only one that I've seen like who has like a very good link up play with him whenever they actually play together too. And that was
Yeah, so let's sub him off at the hour mark.
Huh?
Stupid, man. Yeah. So Potts was like, "Oh yeah, let's sub him off at the hour mark." How stupid is that?
And honestly, it's difficult. And then remember, this guy Jackson, whether we like it or not, until January the 1st, or maybe or until maybe even the end of this season in end of May, he is your number one striker right now. Like Broha, let's be real, he may be coming back, but he's coming back from an ACL injury. So, this is the guy you're going to be relying on to give you goals in some way, shape, or form. At least give you some amount of goals, whether we like it or not. So that's all I have to say on that one still. So it's not looking great. But at the end of the day, man, 5 from 5. You've now got Aston Villa. I think it's on Saturday or Sunday. Probably a Saturday game, right? 5:30. Sunday 4:30.
2 p.m.
Oh, Sunday 2 p.m. again.
They play Europa League. They play Europa League. It's not a television.
Oh yeah, they play Conference League, innit? Yeah, I forgot about that. My bad. Yeah. So honestly, yeah, Sunday 2 p.m. against Aston Villa. Big, honestly. And then obviously you got Brighton, and then after that it's Burnley, if I'm not mistaken. So you got 3 big games coming up next week that Chelsea have to win. It's really simple as that. You have to beat Aston Villa. Like, I know it's wrong for me to say that, but Chelsea, man, you have to beat Aston Villa, bro. You have to.
Why? Why?
Why? Why can't we just lose it? Why can't we just lose it or draw it again?
I don't know how
You're gonna win.
you can say you to win it, sure, but realistically, out of 2, how much you what? Because that's a low number. I'm not gonna. I don't. Do you honestly think we would beat this Villa team?
No, but I don't. I hear your point, bro. You know I don't think we're gonna beat them.
Having to win is not. I'm sorry, bro. Listen. This might, bro. Give the way Villa are playing. Give me a point right now. Honestly, the way they're playing, give me a point.
I would take a point against Villa, but I don't think we have the luxury to get 6 points.
We don't have the luxury, but I'm just being realistic and logical. The way both sides are playing, yeah. Give me a point.
Oh, the way both sides are playing, Villa could probably smoke us.
The way it's looking, the way it's looking, the way Villa has started, a point looks good for us right now.
Fair enough.
I mean, on the tally, it won't, because it'll be 6 points from 6 games. You escape though with a point at Villa at home, the way we're playing, bro. Honestly,
I get that, bro. Do you know what it is, though? I think, Surfer, I get your point, but the reality of the situation is, he can't afford to, I think, draw or lose.
I know he can't afford. I know he has to win, but
isn't it at home, right?
Yeah.
It's a
but that's the difference, Surfer. Surfer, I think, the difference is, you and I, I would say we're rational people in the sense that, yes, we know that's why I was saying this Villa side is very hot. This attack is cooking. They know what to do. We know that this is going to be a hard side to face. But the fans base and the guys that he's going to be seeing at home, because of that, he has to beat them at the same time.
I understand he has to beat them, but I don't think anyone should expect us to. If anyone expects us to beat Villa,
it's not expected.
Next Sunday,
it's not expected, but we have to beat them. We have to beat them. But the thing is though, we have to beat them. But if we don't and we get I'm not going to go overboard because a point against.
No. Going off the board is different. No, definitely. I don't think we can go overboard against this. Yeah. But I'm just saying this. The facts of the matter is, for him, he needs to win that game. I don't know if it's I don't think the word for his sake is the right word, but I just think for to get points on the board.
But realistically, he needs to get wins before October kicks in.
He has to.
That October run is manic, right? So he has to get as many points as possible, because I don't see us getting a lot of points in that October run, especially. So
fair enough.
And the November run. So I just don't. I don't see it at all. Okay?
That October run looks scary. It looks
It's
scary.
worrying, man. I can't lie to you, man. Those, with the performance we're having now, if we continue on this trajectory and then we have those fixtures lists coming up, damn,
It's not
he might
looking
actually
good,
be
bro.
gone quicker than Potter.
It's not looking good, bruv.
I
It's
don't want
not
to say like
looking
that.
good.
No, it's not. But man, yeah,
It's
we
not
are probably
looking
the
good.
fourth team according to Jazz. Big up to Jazz in terms of conversion rate. So there
Oh,
we go.
so we're apparently we're amongst Everton, Luton, and Bournemouth as the worst finishers in the league. Cool.
Well, shot
We've
caller.
taken the most clinical striker of La Liga last season and come out as one of the 4 worst finishers in the league alongside Luton, who just got promoted, Everton, who almost got relegated, and Bournemouth, who have Solanke up top. Love
word.
and guidance to you people, my brothers and sisters. I am not.
Mamma mia.
It is
Listen.
it is not looking good.
Hey ho, man.
Bro,
Listen,
the last 37
Go ahead.
games, we got 39 points. We got 39 points from 37 games.
Mamma mia. Honestly, guys, listen, man, it's crazy. I don't know what to say to this nonsense. But what I will say is we're gonna end the stream here for today, guys. Again, please make sure again to like, share, subscribe. You can catch us in 35 minutes on Casually FC, where we're going to be discussing the match review with Marshall, Surfer, Oliver will probably be there. I'll be there for sure too, where we're going to be discussing the game in a bit more detail compared to here right now. Come for the jokes, come for the banter, come for real Chris saying, you know what, we weren't that bad this
I
game.
don't know if there'll be jokes. I really don't think there'll be jokes and banter.
No jokes? Hey, listen, you know, I might have to line up the
pitch. The jokes were the performance and on the pitch. Those were the
Hey,
jokes.
fair enough. Hey, but hey, we move. This has been the stream of the day for us. I've been your host with the most, the British 258. Make sure to dedicate your hearts and try to stay unblue as possible, I will say.